My name's Ian Cocker. I'm the Senior Mobile Sales Service Technician at Pirtek Birmingham and Redditch. I look after a territory that I've looked after for the last 10 years. A lot of my customers have no contact with the depot at all. It's all done on a one-to-one basis. They like to see the same face because they get used to your work. They know that you're doing the job correctly and conducting yourself in a safe manner. We can do anything from a simple seal replacement to completely rebuilding a hydraulic system. Jobs can take 10 minutes, they can take all day. It depends on the complexity of the job. Hi Richie, okay?
Yeah.
Where's the breaker located, mate?
Just right next to this brown cabin.
This morning we're going to go out to Armac Demolition to replace a hose and a breaker.
Yeah, you'll just see a coupling on it.
Behind the stack of tyres?
Yeah, that's it, mate.
Hydraulic breaker that they use for taking up concrete, knocking buildings down. It's hydraulic driven. The job gets put on the computer back at the centre, which gets sent out to our XDA. We accept the job, proceed to the job, do a risk assessment and assess that the job is safe to carry out. Dependent on where you're working, PPE differs. Boots, high visibility vest and hard hat is probably the basic PPE. First we'll remove the hose from the breaker, identify the ends, measure the hose, cut the hose. With it being a high pressure hose, we will skive the hose, which entails taking the outer cover off. The hose clean is to make sure that the hose is clean to a standard. The biggest cause of hydraulic system failure is dirt and contamination in the oil system. We use an airline and a tool to blow a pellet down the hose. Then we will identify the fittings. Set the swager up, the crimp diameter, crimp the hose. The crimping machine is just a press. It's just a hydraulic press. You put the specific dies in and then adjust the vernier to suit according to the crimp diameter. The head will move forward until it hits the micro switch. We check every swage with the verniers to make sure it's within tolerance. We have swage dimensions because they're tested to pressures to prevent blowing off and hose failures. On completion of the hose, we tag every hose. It's got all the information, the specification of the hose, the length, the engineer that carried out the job and the date of the job. You get 3 months warranty on any hose, so if there's any failure, it's covered by our warranty. We would refit the hose and if it's needed, get the customer on site to carry out a full test. Clean up any oil spills and then carry out the paperwork on the XDA. Consumables, spill products, we enter that into the XDA and then get the customer to sign it on completion of the job. You would always ring the customer before you left site.
My name's Mark, I work for Pirtek Redditch. Obviously if a hose bursts it makes a really large mess, which we call an oil spill, because it sprays all over the place, which is bad for the environment. This is something we have to deal with on a day-to-day basis, which is why we carry all the equipment to deal with that, such as granules and OB pads, soak-up pads. Once you've fitted the hose on the machine, you can then start to clean up. In this case, we use granules on the mud to soak up. If you had an oil spill on tarmac or concrete, you pour the granules on, let it soak up and brush them off the concrete.
Sometimes a customer likes to clean up the oils themselves. If it's on a main road, we would get a road sweeper out to clean the oil spill up. It could cause accidents. so we have to make sure it's left safely.
Finalising process normally is to get a signature off the customer, and the customer will come over and more often than not check it. Then take my gear off and off I go to the next job.